Good morning and welcome to the Papa John's Under 21 Provincial Championships. Bonjour et bienvenue au championnat provincial en dessous de 21 parrainé par Papa John's. Et puis, mon nom c'est Marianne Power et je suis ici avec Arnold Mallet. I'm here with Marianne Power and I'm here with Arnold Mallet, and we'll be bringing you the A final game this morning. And this is between Donovan and Marin.
Good morning, Marianne.
Good morning, Arnold.
Yes, this is the A final. However, where this is a triple knockout, this is not the first qualifier. It's the A winner has to be beaten in B and C section as well.
That's right. With the triple knockout, this is a good way to go about it. I do like the triple knockout because if you win your A, you get to win B and C as well. So you got to make sure that everybody has two losses and you come out on top.
So the teams have just shaken hands, and we see Nolan in the hack to throw Donovan is throwing blue.
So Marin obviously got the hammer.
So here we are. We have 4 games here happening at Carroll Moncton, Lockhart Avenue, where this U21 is taking place.
And we'll keep you updated as well on the scores on the other sheets.
So Nolan put his rock successfully on the button, which is what the skip had asked.
So just to mention, Arnold, other games going on sheet 6 is Cliff and Como. On sheet 7 is Lewis and Robichaud, and sheet 8 is Tracy and McCabe. And our feature game is between Donovan and Marin.
And although our sheets, and I believe yesterday Josh Nolan was playing mate, he's throwing lead stones today. So a little bit of a switch up there. The Donovan team is comprised of lead, and we'll see where seeing as Nolan's playing lead, Matt McGee may be playing second. Then you have Derwin Lontang playing mate, and Michael Donovan skipping this squad. The games are taking place here at Carroll Moncton on Lockhart Avenue in Moncton, New Brunswick. They started yesterday. The opening ceremonies was last evening. And a shout out to our sponsors, Papa John's, of course, which is the main title sponsor, Bob Lee Productions, Modern Construction 1983 Limited, and Shoppers Drug Mart. We thank them for their support.
Yes, and without the support of these sponsors, it's very difficult to put on a championship, and we certainly appreciate their donations and how they've helped to put on a successful championship.
And as I stated, Matt McGee is playing second, so it looks like there was a switch between Josh and Derwin. So they're playing a pretty conservatively right now, Marianne. I'm probably just trying to get a feel for the ice, throwing some different turns, and just a straight takeout for Matt.
They do get a 10 minutes practice prior to the game, so they do get to see a little bit of how the ice curls and the speed as well. So I'm willing to think that the speed is probably pretty good today.
And where this is a provincial event, Marianne, I believe they were able to practice on each sheet probably yesterday morning.
Before it started, yeah. Felipe Marin now throwing his first rock for brother Liam.
As I said, the tournament started yesterday, and there are draws today, of course. This one at 9 a.m., at 2 p.m., and at 7 p.m. And then Saturday we have 8:30. The awards luncheon will be at 12 noon. We have a 1:30 draw and a 6:30 draw. Then it culminates on Sunday with The finals, I would take it, at 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6:30 p.m., all here at Curl Mountain.
Matt McGee successfully removing that rock. So they're playing a pretty open end here. So Liam probably trying to move the rocks around the rings to force the Donovan team to hit so that they can see what the ice does. Not giving a whole lot of ice there, Arnold, so it's fairly straight in that particular spot.
His weight will probably impact that too, Marianne. Very little brushing and pretty well on the mark, a little bit of roll. So this is the first of Derwin Lontang's rocks here in the first end, the mate for the Donovan squad. Again, just kind of keeping it open. Right?
Keeping things clean.
Yeah. You'd notice that Marianne, how that seemed to stay right there, and actually it's rolling out.
Rolled out, yeah. Not much of a curl there.
No,
he didn't give a whole lot of ice either. So
no, and it seemed to, as is, I think in a number of the sheets here, crossing that 4-foot line sometimes is a bit of a challenge. Once you're on the inside of it, it will move fairly well for you.
This is Tyler Smith playing third for Team Donovan, or Team Marin, sorry. This is his first rock.
On the Donovan squad, we have Nolan, which is, of course, from Moncton. McGee is from Riverview. Lontang is from Bathurst. And Donovan is from Moncton. So a bit of a mix there.
And even way out on the wing here, Arnold, they're broom right on the rock. So there's not going to be a whole lot of movement there. And they're not throwing a whole lot of weight either.
Yeah,
so
that's not
like
excessive.
Looks like board weight, so it's...
The boys haven't touched it as yet, but I've got a feeling that that's going to come up on them. They were able to hold it fairly well. Wow.
A little bit of a curl there, although he might have underthrown it a bit, because that looks like only hack weight.
You're right.
Yeah, he underthrew
And
it
actually not even hack, because it didn't even get there, right?
Yeah, well, he did get the rock out, but
yes.
just with that little bit that he hit. So
yeah,
wow.
just a little down for out there.
A little bit. Liam electing to ask Tyler to go on the other part of the rings to see how the other side's going to do.
Yeah, that's what you want to do in this first end, this opening end, right? Get an appreciation for what the different ices. As you say, they did throw some rocks, but they obviously couldn't throw to every piece of the ice. So
you can only cover so much when in practice, but at least you get a feel for how fast the ice is.
The brushing was very hard, and I don't think they quite made it.
Looks like there might just be a little bit short of the rings. Yeah, a few inches off the rings there.
So a place for Donovan to start a little bit of offense here. Marianne, these games, of course, the 4-rock rule is in play, and they are 10-end games, so provincial events are 10-end games. And the 4-rock rule, of course, is the one whereby you cannot remove an opposing rock until the 4th rock has been thrown, so if they're not in the rings.
Exactly. So as you stated, Arnold, the Donovan team electing to go to try to go around that little that rock that came up short.
And Michael here can actually, he just saw the trajectory of that last, the one that ended up being the guard instead of in the rings. They're working this quite well, Marianne. It's a nice movement.
I think it's going to be pretty good, Arnold.
This is where it tends to cut, though, Marianne. As soon as they cross that half line, they've held it very well. I think he's going to rub.
I think just going to rub a little bit. A little bit of a rub. Wow. I think that weight was pretty good, though, Arnold, because he did roll in on the
you're absolutely
top
right.
of the 8-foot, so that weight was really good.
I think a little more ice.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, assuming that he hit the room, but we have no reason to believe he didn't, so.
So Liam now electing to remove this rock. So again, on this side of the sheet, Arnold, he's certainly not giving a whole lot of ice to remove this rock.
And this may be something in their practice when they were throwing that they realized that you didn't need much ice here.
Much ice.
The other thing here is just to keep it clean. Marianne, Marin would be very pleased with blanking this end.
I think so. Marin's first rock.
I think he's
moving.
riding.
I think he might
Yeah,
have.
he's riding that 4-foot line. So, yeah, he'll get a hit and a roll into the open. So we're back to that center ice play. I think his weight was fine. He may have been a little tight, but
His weight was pretty good. So this is Michael's last rock, so looking to remove it. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea for him to try to roll behind that that tight corner guard too, to make it a little tougher for Liam.
to force to take the one, right?
Exactly.
And if he hits and rolls out, we can assume that Marin would just throw it through. So a good rock here. Actually, if anything, I think he might get a little bit of a roll on the other side. Okay.
So Liam looking to move first and hopefully probably blank the end. His last rock.
And where it is top 8 foot, he'll probably throw a little bit more weight so that he does get his shooter to roll out.
Exactly.
Certainly not giving much ice. So the last rock of the first end.
It's coming out pretty strong out of the hack,
Yep.
so it's a fairly good weight.
And they're not touching it. I think on its own he'll get the hit and roll out.
Should. It's pretty good.
Well, Marianne,
Blanking.
he didn't hit any more than he had to on that.
Hit just enough to remove it and get his blank. Nicely done.
So he maintains hammer, and we'll have Josh Nolan throwing the first rock of the second end. Once again, our sponsors for this under 21 provincial event, of course, 5TV1, Bell Alliance, and Papa John's is the main sponsor, with Bob Lee Productions, Modern Construction 1983 Limited, and Shoppers Drug Mart. We heads out to our sponsors. So now Marianne, he'll probably, it looks like he's asking for a center line guard.
Center line guard, yeah. It's hopefully starting to generate some
Very well done.
some more delicate shots with by putting guards up there and hopefully working with that. So Josh is playing lead today, as you stated earlier, Arnold. He's playing lead and Matt McGee's playing second. So Liam electing to try to bring one around that front guard. So he's asking Dylan McDonald.
And as we said with the 4-rock rule, of course, he can't remove it. He could move it, and as long as it doesn't get taken out.
But not out of play.
This is a good move. Seems to be curling nice there. He looks like he might be a little hot, but
It's a little hot, yeah.
back 4 perhaps. Back 8.
Okay, back 12. A little bit hot, but
Yep. So Donovan, Michael's asking for Josh to actually make the 4-foot draw. He could, I suppose, throw another guard up there, couldn't he, Marianne? But
he could if he wanted. Yeah.
and this is, the boys are on it now.
He's
But
happy with this, trying to bring one around, trying to bear it a little more. And as long as they're in front of the tee line, you can use those back ones as catchers.
yeah. Very nice weight, coming in nicely.
Looks like he's going to come down onto that back one.
Nice weight.
Stopped
Very nice weight.
really quickly, very nice. Partly covered.
Liam is indicating just hack weight to take this Donovan rock off the button.
This is 16-year-old Dylan McDonald, and he's a student in Oromocto. And he curls out of the Gage Golf and Curling Club. He's been curling for 7 years. So attempting to remove this rock that was just put there by Team Donovan.
Got some movement on this.
It looks like that front guard's going to go.
Yeah, a little tight.
But if it goes out of play, they'll be putting that back.
Has it got enough? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. So it goes back.
So that gets removed, and the Marin stone comes off play. So the non-offending skip can place that stone, I mean, as much as where it was, as he and the other skip usually concurs with that. So that's what they've done.
So as stated earlier, Arnold, the first 4 rocks cannot be actually removed out of play if they're in the free guard zone, from anywhere from the tee line up to the hog line. They can be moved within that area, but if they're removed out of play, that rock goes back.
Right, the free guard zone actually being outside the rings, right?
Exactly.
Here we go.
From the tee line up to the hog line.
Very nicely done.
Nicely done by Matt. Well done.
So now we're, I would say it's clean house time, I would think. He's going for the one in the house, Marianne, but there'd be no problem with taking that guard off as well, right?
Yeah, at this point in time, he can remove the guard, but he's electing to. He's hoping to maybe clip the one on the button and try to move it a little bit. Sometimes it's hard. The skip usually has a plan in mind, so he's electing to leave that tight guard up for now because it might be to his benefit in the long run. It's hard to tell. So Liam asking brother Felipe to remove that rock that was just put there by Matt McGee.
We're not brushing it very much. It looks like he's going to make contact on the first one. Yep. Wow.
Just kind of moved it off the button, but it's wide open now, and now Liam now has 2 rocks in the rings, although they're second and third shot. But this is how you can generate points. So you keep adding your rocks in the ring, and then eventually things accumulate.
And I think Michael heard you because he's going after that number 3 rock.
Trying to get a roll inside towards the rings.
They indicated that it was good weight, so got good contact, and I don't know if he'll get his roll. Yeah.
Is it too much though?
Yeah, that goes for number 3s.
A little bit too much, but he's still in the rings. That could still come into play towards the end. So Liam now asking Felipe to hit and kind of flop over to the side. So Felipe Marin throwing second stone for brother Liam. He's 19 years old and he works for Boyle's property. That's his summer job, and he lives in Rothsay. Curls out of the Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club in St. John. He's been curling for 16 years.
So the takeout is being attempted here. They're not brushing much going on, so I think he's got a nice shot. He's going to get a little bit of a flop.
Oh, that's nice. Nicely done.
So Michael could attempt the double here, straight back double. Although I think he'd be happy just to get rid of the number 1 stone.
But he's giving a lot of ice, Arnold. I think he indicated he wants to freeze onto that shot rock. Yeah.
And maybe just tap it back.
Just wants to freeze onto it.
Yes, you're right with the ice.
The ice that he gave and the weight that's coming down. A lot of curl there. Whoa.
And a rub.
A little bit of a rub. But that's okay. Those are stones that he can still use. He can still make use of those rocks.
So Marin is now lying 1 and 2 with hammer.
But he still has to worry about those 2 front blue ones, which looks like he's going to do something about one of them.
The objective here, Marianne, is for him to be able to have a draw to the 4-foot should need be, right? But let's keep that open.
I want to keep it open, exactly, because if he leaves those up there and Donovan's able to do something with those like raised takeouts, then it's going to be harder for him to get his points in the end. But so Liam asking Tyler Smith to remove and hopefully sit right there to stop the Donovan team from bringing another one in or attempting to freeze again. Tyler Smith with his first rock, second end.
And this is moving Marianne. He's good here.
Nice shot. That's a good spot. So that hole, I don't think that hole is big enough for a rock to go through, so Donovan electing to try to do a raise takeout.
So straight back. Very nice.
Nice shot.
Wow.
Whoa, double, raise double takeout.
Raise double takeout.
Bonus.
We'll be scoring that when we're in the round.
Nicely done.
Very nice.
So things can turn around very quickly. So Liam asking Tyler to remove this rock and hopefully get a bit of a roll behind the corner guard there. So Tyler Smith, he's 19 years old, and he's a student at Transport Training Center at the Moncton campus. He's from PEI. He's from he curls out of the Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club. So hitting a bit of a roll there. Is he going to roll too much? Look at Liam's face. I believe he probably rolled a little bit too much. He did. That's unfortunate, but he accomplished what he wanted to do, is remove that rock from right at the button.
Donovan line one here with the first of his skips rocks here in the second end. And I see Josh now is holding the broom. So Derwin Blonting will be the second sweeper with Matt McGee.
So with Donovan sitting shot rock in the back of the rings here, he'd certainly like to steal this end, so he's going to try to draw one around that front guard there that's just off the center line.
Very important for him to try to bury it, right? It doesn't have to be deep as long as it gives Marin a bit of a challenge in taking him out.
Exactly. Front of the tee line's good, because otherwise Marin would be able to freeze to it. So not really starting to brush now.
It's riding that line pretty good. Once he gets off it, it should start to move. It looks like he's a little hot. Oh, it's finishing now. There we go. Well executed.
Oh, nice shot.
Very nice.
Nice shot. Well judged by the sweepers.
So the options here, Marianne, I guess, is to run it back, run his own back, or come in and sit on that rock that was just thrown. But
you could, but where it's biting the butt, you really would like to have that removed from there. So this is Liam's first rock.
Right. Some of the other matches, we have the ladies' game on sheet 6. Clough and Como, they blanked the first end. Lewis and Robichaud, 1-0 for Lewis after the first end. And we have Tracy and
Robichaud, or McCabe.
McCabe, yeah. 2-0 for Tracy after the first. All right, the first of Marin's skips rocks. He didn't touch that at all, Marianne. He did it all on his own. Very nicely done.
Nice shot. Got a bit of a roll there. Looks like it might be partly buried by that corner guard.
Well, the other thing too, Marianne, that comes into play, if he hits it on the what I was going to say, the broom side. There could be a jam there.
Yeah. So he's got to be very, very careful.
So it looks like he's asking for the draw to it, right? Which should make it difficult for Marin to take it out.
To take more than one, because here he has, like you said, Arnold, he has to be very careful, because if he tries to hit that and jams in on his own, then he's giving Marin a free draw for 3. So he's looking at trying to sit one right on top of that.
It's always, if you don't make it perfect, and he does, mind you, Donovan is the second stone, lies number 2, so.
Yes.
It's all about minimizing what the opponent takes when they have hammer, right?
Exactly. With hammer, you should try to allow your opponents just to take one, but you never know.
Well, they're brushing this color off. And once it gets to that center line, you should see some movement. Weight is good.
A little bit of a tick. Boom. And a little bit of a rub, I think, is what they were doing.
That's why, yes, because
That's
it wasn't. It was having a hard time getting across that center line.
It wasn't moving, no.
So the last rock of the second end for Marin.
So Liam Marin throwing, nose hit for couple. So Liam is 17 years old. He's a grade 12 student at Rothsay High School. And in the summertime he works for Boyle's Property Care. And he lives in Rothsay, curls out of the St. Andrews, Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club. And he's been curling for 14 years.
And I believe Felipe, their dad, is the coach for this group.
Yes. On this Arnold.
He's got good weight there. He should be okay. So the score of 2 for Marin in the second end.
So mission accomplished after blank in the first end. He tried to not take 2 or 1. You want to try to get your 2, which is mission accomplished for him after blank in the first end.
Right.
He got his 2.
As we said earlier, Marianne, the event just started yesterday with the first draw at 2 o'clock. There was one last evening after the opening ceremonies at 9, and we'll have 3 draws today, at this one at 9 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, and at 7 p.m. And then we have 3 draws tomorrow at 8:30, 1:30, and 6:30, with Sunday's draws at 9, 2, and 6:30, all here at Curl Moncton, Lockhart Avenue in Moncton, New Brunswick. So is he asking that to be in the house?
Yes, he is.
Now for Donovan, he obviously can choose to not worry about that and go up and place the corner guard, which he's asking Josh Nolan to do.
So he's going to try to generate his 2 points.
Josh is a grade 12 student here at École de Lycée here in Moncton, and he's been curling for 11 years. The Donovan team was coached by Josh's dad. Can't think of
Daryl.
Daryl now. Yes.
Daryl has coached many teams to provincials and national championships.
Yeah, he was with James Grattan for a few years as well. So a guard is being asked.
A little over too far. It curled over a little too far. Typically, you'd like to have that corner guard closer to the 4-foot line there. So Liam asking for a tight center guard.
Yeah, this is what we were saying. Going down, once you cross that 4-foot line, it really moves. This one hugged the 4-foot line and is finishing quite well right now. So beautiful weight.
They're bringing it as tight as they can.
Yep, top of the 12-foot. So the force is on to have Josh freeze on the just back of the button. You haven't laid a broom to it yet.
So again, it's got to cross over that 4 foot line. It's not moving a whole lot. There it starts to come now as
There
it
it comes.
crosses the.
Yep. And the weight comes off it.
Yeah,
Very
crosses that
nicely
line.
done.
Nice weight.
Wow. Don't know if they're shot well.
No, yellow's still shot.
Okay.
So he's just outside the button there, not quite biting the button. So Liam's going to elect to try to overlap the guard up. So he's
Without last rock, so
looking to
he's
steal.
right.
Looking to steal, yeah.
So anywhere around the center line.
So Philippe Marin now throwing his first rock. Looking to put a guard on. Again, Arnold is staying on the outside part of that 4 foot line. And eventually, once it crosses the hog line,
There you go.
here it's moving down. So
Yep.
that perfect weight, it will move, but it takes a while. So nice shot.
The only issue with that, where it ended up, is of course the double peel is now in play for Donovan, which he's asking Matt McGee.
Yep.
And Matt is 19 years old and a student at from a review, student at NBCC, and he's been curling for 15 years. There we go.
Nicely done. Got both of them out and rolled a shooter, so this exposes the button. Well done.
The shooter almost stayed on for another guard up
Another
there.
corner guard, exactly.
Now decision time, so they're going for they're asking for another guard, centerline guard.
Liam looking to try to protect that one on the button and trying to keep the Donovan team to just scoring one. There's rocks in the rings. It doesn't mean that by the end that all those rocks are going to remain there, because with the amount of weight that these guys can throw, the ends can change very quickly.
They're not touching this very much. Again, waiting for some movement, get it to the center line. That finished nicely as well.
Good finish, that's right.
So appeal would be in vogue for Matt. He really doesn't care to stay around.
A lot of weight here.
Big weight, yes. There you go.
Nicely done. Those two rocks over on the right-hand side of the rings could possibly come into play as well for one of these two teams. If they get a roll over there, they could certainly make use of it. Liam electing to put another centerline guard up.
While they're waiting for this to come across Marianne, and here it starts now as it approaches the hog line.
It's nice. It's nice because the brushers just have to put the brush to it at the very end after the hog line. When it starts to move is when you want your brushers to bring it in as tight as they can.
It's very good sweeping ice.
Very nice.
Now he didn't quite get it full on the center line, so Donovan is asking for Darren Mantan to hit basically a bump takeout on his arm. The way he's taking.
Yeah, because those rocks are a little bit of an angle, so it's
They've got to wait for it to get to the center line, though, don't they?
close. Yeah, that weight looks pretty good, Arnold.
Very nice.
It's going to be a nice shot.
And covers nicely.
Oh,
and,
nicely done.
Yep.
Threw that perfect weight just to bump that yellow one back of the rings a little bit. Then it certainly could be used as a catcher for one of the teams. So Liam looking to possibly get a double out of this.
He really has to hit that top one thin, though, Marianne.
Fairly thin, exactly, in order to get the double.
Actually, if in failing that and making the takeout on the number 2 stone and rolling behind isn't a bad shot either. He won't be shot rock, but it's not a bad shot.
Tyler Smith now throwing for the Marin team.
So they're going to want to let this come across that top stone. Weight looks a bit heavy here. The jam may be in play, Carrie-Ann.
Back.
Yep.
Well, jam, but he still rolled out. And you saw the Marines...
those rocks that you were talking about have now come into play.
Exactly. Even though that yellow rock way over on the right-hand side is exposed, it's still not an easy shot to get at. So Donovan looking to try to bring another one in, coming in with the intern.
So Derwin, age 19, occupation is a police student, employer at Sobeys, and is from Bathurst, his hometown. He's been curling for 11 years. Well, that has taken off on them a little bit.
Interrupt the guard, isn't it?
However, it does serve as a guard. When you've got last rock, though, I don't know that you want to be placing guards up there, so a bit of a miscue on that one. I think he wanted that in there for...
I think he wanted just to overlap Arnold.
Yeah, to be line number 2, right?
Yeah, to be line, number 2, just to overlap a little bit, because right now Liam has the opportunity to raise his own onto the shot rock and be covered, and he'll be sitting 2. Not giving a whole lot of ice there, Arnold, either, because he has to hit it just off nose. But
he, and the one he's raising can it can flop a number of different places, but ideally, as you say, is to hit the stick.
So Liam throwing his first rock. So it's curling, I believe.
Yeah, your mention of the ice is key there, because he wasn't giving himself much chance. I like the weight he was throwing.
The weight was good, and and Tyler called the sweeper on right away, so Liam might have started that a little bit.
Right. So we have Michael Donovan with the first of his, and this the third end. He's 19 years old. He's a student, NBCC Moncton. And interestingly enough, he's been playing for 5 years. But in those 5 years, he's had a number of accomplishments with some of these his other teammates, such as the 2017 captain winner City Slam and the 2017 Summerside Fall Fling. Yep. So the first of Michael Donovan's skips rocks here in the third end.
So I believe, Arnold, he's just looking at, he tapped the ice, he's just looking to bring one to, like, partly buried under the, behind that guard there. He doesn't
just
really,
off the center line.
Just off the center line to make it a little tougher for Liam to remove that shot rock out of there. So he would certainly try to be second rock hit.
Yeah, he's got
second shot if he could.
He's got to get second, regardless if he covers his own or not, right? So.
He certainly wants to try to avoid for Liam to get at his shot rock.
Looks like he's a little hot now, and that to freeze on his own isn't a terrible shot either, which is what he's going to end up with. Well, actually, he's bumping it back. So.
Bumped it back a little bit, but that's not a bad shot, Arnold. It still gives him a chance to get the double, though, if he hits it right. He could, there's a number of possibilities here that could happen. He's certainly looking at the double, and if he does hit it where Tyler just indicated, he could be just a little flop underneath those guards there.
And then the force is on for Donovan to take his one.
On. Exactly. So Liam Marin throwing his second shot. He does not have hammer in this end. Their team sponsor is, and hopefully I'll pronounce this right, Sarins and Center of Curling Excellence is their team sponsor, and it's as we stated before, Arnold, it's nice to have sponsors, especially with these teams, because they do a lot more traveling nowadays, and the sponsorship certainly helps.
Now they haven't touched a broom to this as yet, but it looks like it's coming nice. He may get the double the other way.
The other way. There you go.
Absolutely.
And look at that roll. Wow.
So once again, we have an open draw to the 4 foot to score his one and get out of this end.
So he needs to at least bite the 8 foot in order to get his one. That was a nice shot by Liam, and his shooter rolled into a nice spot as well behind those corner guards.
I wasn't seeing that. We were all talking about the
flop. Well, he initially wanted the flop underneath those corner guards, but whatever way you can get them, it works.
Absolutely.
And as long as you get the force out of it, that was mission accomplished for the team.
So Michael Donovan with the last rock of the third end, hoping to score his one. Needs the 8 foot. And this is starting to move on the Marianne, but I think he's fine.
Looks pretty good as long as he's got the weight there.
They're beating it pretty hard.
Looks good.
They're beating it pretty hard. All they've got.
Oh, I think yellow's shot, Arnold.
Well, if they look at it much longer, I'd say pull the stick out and get that measured.
I think it looks like yellow.
Pretty obvious from the overhead, is it?
Seems to be, yeah. Although, it's not going to hurt to put the measure.
Well, Laura Copeland, the chief umpire for this event this weekend, is going to do the honors.
If you have to look at it a couple times, might as well put the stick around.
For sure. Yeah, it was moving across that center line, and once that starts to happen, it dies off.
Just to bring you up to date with the scores on the other sheets, sheet 6, Clough and Como just finished their third end, so we'll wait for them to put the score up. Sheet 7, Lewis is leading Robichaud 3-1, and they are in the third end. Sheet 8, Tracy is leading McCabe 2-1, and they are in the third end as well. And we just completed our third end and looking for a measure here. So you're watching the under 21 Papa John's Provincial Championship here at Curl Moncton at 81 Lockhart Avenue, and there are two more draws today, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. and 3 draws tomorrow, 8:30 a.m., 1:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. and Sunday 3 draws as well, 9, 2 and 6:30. And this is a triple knockout, and you are watching the first the A qualifier between Marin and Donovan. So with a triple knockout, these teams are not, the loser of this team is not knocked out, they just drop down to the other brackets. So
there's 3 brackets in the end.
Exactly. And a team.
So yellow, but the yellow was the winner there. So,
yellow was the winner.
Yeah. So steal of 1 for Team Marin.
So to update you on sheet 6, Como took 2, so 2-0 for Como after 3 hits.
And this broadcast, of course, is made available by Bell Alliance Fiber TV 1. And an event like this, of course, Marianne, doesn't take place without volunteers such as you and I, and we have timers here at covering every game, as well as live score and a statistician as well. So people at the gate downstairs and people available to sell curling equipment and coffee and whatnot downstairs as well. So throw out to our volunteers for events like this.
Exactly, and it's hard to put on a championship without volunteers as well as sponsors as well. And we have a number of sponsors, Papa John being the major sponsor. And we also have Bob Lee Productions, Modern Construction, and Shoppers Drug Mart. And without their help, it's very difficult to put on a championship. And as stated too, a lot of these teams now have team sponsors as well. So it's nice to have team sponsors as well to help out these kids during their curling season.
So Donovan just asking for the corner guard. Marin came in with his first, and he's asking for another one in the house. Donovan looking to try to get some offense going here. Marin trying to maintain the control of the house. Seems to be suggesting he might have been a little bit out there, but coming in nicely now. So line
after
2.
3 in, Dylan McDonald's curling 67%. Our statistician, Maureen McMaster's, providing us with these numbers, and we appreciate that. Josh Nolan now throwing for Team Donovan, and he's curling 67% as well. So the leads throwing are going head to head.
And the takeout being asked here by Josh, and we're going to get a flop out of this. I don't think they get the double. Very nicely done.
It's a nice shot.
Question, Marin is asking whether they want to take the guard out, the corner guard, or come in and get the one that's now shot rock in the house.
And Felipe is curling 100%, so he's having a good game so far, even though this is just the fourth end, but it certainly is good to set up your rocks for your end.
And he is requesting the corner guard be removed. Lots of weight here.
Mission accomplished. Matt McGee curling at 88% for Team Donovan.
Michael initially asked Matt to put a guard on the center line. I'm always weary of that when you've got last rock and you're placing guards out there, but
well, he's also down, so he's looking for a place to hide, right? So it is dangerous because Liam can attempt to remove multiple rocks, but you're trying to generate scoring chances as well. So for Donovan at this point, he really wants to score in this end.
Okay, and they're coming down now. Well, that's pretty well what he asked, yeah. That's what he asked of Matt, so. Now the double attempt could force a jam as well here, Marianne, but...
Exactly. So we'll probably, Felipe will probably be throwing a fair amount of weight here to try to move things around.
He's got himself in a stone. They haven't swept it much. Well, he certainly took it off. And I'd say that's
It's a
Mission
pretty
accomplished.
good shot. It still remains in the rings, and the good thing for the Donovan team is that second blue rock is still in the rings, partly buried, but it's behind the tee line. So the way with the movement from the hog line in, Liam can probably remove that. So Donovan's trying to figure out where would be a good spot to put another rock in there.
They're ignoring the. Well, I said they were ignoring the. Now he's indicated perhaps taking out the shot rock and lying there for number 2, which I think is the shot.
Well, there's a couple things. I think why he was looking to possibly try to go over to the wing there, and just a little bit partly buried behind that yellow front stone. So that wouldn't be a bad shot either for him to try to generate some points. So he's looking to try to hit, just kind of get a little bit of a roll towards the outside, which is nicely done by Matt.
So now Donovan lies 2 with mates rocks to come.
So Tyler Smith now throwing for Team Marin, and he's curling at 71%.
As you mentioned, these are 10-in games, so at the 5th in, we'll have a break of, I think it's 5 minutes to give the teams a chance to regroup, and they'll be pebbling the sliding area.
That was a nice shot by Tyler. Curled to the outside a bit, enough that Team Donovan is paying attention to it. So 2 schools of thoughts here. Donovan's sitting 1, so he wants to try to get his 2. So as long as they exchange rocks, there's no doubles involved. Could be mission accomplished. However,
yeah, they're well spread out in the house. So.
Well spread out here. No chance of a double here, so Liam looking to hit and stick. So as the rocks, as they get nose hits, and if the rocks move up further towards the top of the rings, there is a possibility of a double or a hit and freeze onto this other blue rock, and just slightly behind the tee.
They haven't laid much of a brush to this one. It's staying on that 4-foot line.
It's a nice weight thrown by Tyler.
So the last of mates rocks here in the 4th end.
So Donovan Lontang now throwing, and he's curling at 96%.
Donovan. No, it's hard to read.
I thought it said Donovan.
Okay. This may be my answer. However, he made a successful shot.
That's right. So you can see, Arnold, the rocks are starting to get positioned in a spot where Liam can get a hit, try to roll on to the other rock that's just behind the tee line. So Liam throwing his first rock, and he's curling at 92%, so he's having a pretty good game.
So he's taking even a little less ice than what his mate had taken.
Yeah, because he wants to over curl and hit the rock on the inside part.
And maybe play it a little softer, Marianne?
Not necessarily. Sometimes if you play them too soft, they're going to over curl. But
again, they haven't laid a
looks
broom
like he's
to
going
this.
to get a nose hit out of it.
Yep. All right. We've been exchanging rocks on that side.
Exchanging rocks.
They should know pretty well what it's doing there now. And you notice he's taking a little bit more ice.
Yeah. So Michael Donovan, his first of 2 rocks, is curling at 80%, so he's having a really good game as well. So like you said, Arnold would like to hit, just kind of have a little bit of a flop over towards the outside to make it a little tougher for Liam to get a hit and roll over.
and to keep his scoring two in play, right?
Yeah.
So the first of Donovan skips rocks here in the fourth end. Donovan trailing Marin by 3-0 count.
So they're not laying a brush, so it,
he's a little heavier.
A bit heavier, so. Roll out.
That's those little inconsistencies.
It's unfortunate for him. A little bit too much weight, I think.
Yeah.
So now Marin can see, I think, most of this rock. So the thought process is, I don't think they've come down here for a takeout. So you wonder if it will curl, and if so, how much. So are they looking at the freeze, or are they looking at the hit?
We'll see by the ice they give, but they've discussed both shots.
Ideally, if he could throw like a hack weight and remove it out of play, would be ideal for him, which is, I think, what they're looking at. And it seems that everywhere else on the ice, it will curl from the hog line in, so it all depends on how much weight he's going to throw down here. That seems to be pretty good ice, so it looks like he's probably going to try to throw like a hack weight.
Yep.
To get the curl here.
And for him, it's not staying around would be great, but it's not really necessary. He's got a counter there in the top of the 12.
Exactly. The idea is to remove this one out of play.
With your shot rock.
This is more than hack weight. Get the pressure on right away.
And that's moving. That's moving. As you said, they haven't played this.
He might get plan B. He must have been a bit narrow on that arm.
Yeah, I think he may have turned it in, Marin, because it moved right away.
Moved right away, and and Tyler called the sweeper right away.
So, missed opportunity, but Donovan.
He has a second chance of getting a draw in there to get his 2 points to get himself back in the game here. Just to update you on other scores, on sheet 8 is Tracy is up on McCabe 4-1. On sheet 7, Lewis is up on Robichaud, Robichaud is up on Lewis, sorry, 4-3.
Some 3 enders being scored in that case, yeah.
And it looks like they just blanked the fourth end on Como and Clough, so it's still Como over Clough 2-0.
Right, after 4. Yeah. So final rock here of the fourth end in our future game. Donovan and Marin.
Now this weight looks much better than what he threw in the last end.
And they're pretty well conceding that that's 2 points.
2 points. Well done.
Marianne, our viewers will notice that we have advertising on the on all the sheets of the Scotties and sponge towels and cashmere, and that, of course, is because Carl Moncton is hosting the Scotties 2018 tournament here to be held in February of this year. January.
Yeah, everything's moved up because of the Olympics this year. Yeah,
yeah,
so January, I believe it starts January 2nd.
I'm chairing it, I should know that. January.
Are you going away in January?
3rd to the 7th.
That you want to be here in February instead of January?
3rd to the 7th, right here at Carl Moncton. Boys, you can't make a mistake up here. Holy smokes.
If you're on Twitter, your phone's probably buzzing by now.
All right, so to start off the fifth end, Josh Donovan just being asked to have a center guard, which he's accomplished.
So Liam going on the attack right away, looking to bring a rock behind that front stone. Dylan McDonald now throwing. So Dylan has been part of he participated in the under-15 provincials, and he received an award from the town of Oromocto for representing them on a provincial level, curling at the provincial level in curling, so well done. it's nice to have your community to acknowledge your accomplishments. It's certainly encouraging, and it shows that they're paying attention and they appreciate what athletes are doing.
Yes, and we look at the bios on all of the players in both teams. They do have a significant amount of events that they've played and been successful in. So Josh is being asked to freeze on the one just behind the tee line.
Put the pressures to it. It looks like he's high. Whether or not it looks like the weight's pretty good as well, Arnold.
Very well.
But he's sitting right on top of that. So, a little bit short.
They're finishing hard, Marianne. Once they get in the house, eh?
So he's just in the 8-foot, just off the 4-foot ring there. So Liam is looking. It's at least half buried. So Liam looking to try to sit one right on top of that. So he's trying to generate some offense here. So Ian asking Dylan McDonald to sit his second one right on top.
I'm a little surprised at the ice he's giving here. That doesn't seem to be, for the way we've had some movement here.
Well,
however, he's got nice weight.
It depends on the weight.
Yes,
so it's got to come off that 4-foot line first. So
No, you're absolutely right.
It's starting to go now. Pressure's communicating to the skipper. The rock's going to net.
That didn't quite finish, but again, that was maybe a little hot. Huh?
They could have let it go, I suppose, but they wanted to make sure to get it there. So Donovan looking at...
He's just looking for the raise on his own. Interesting call, which would be
That's going to be hard
great
to get in there, isn't it?
Well, I think, as you said, though, Josh had great weight. Now Matt is being asked to duplicate.
Just to tap it back a little bit. So he wants to have some rocks in there, too, to try to keep Liam to just scoring one, or even if he could steal himself, that would be great as well. But,
Getting movement now, Marianne.
It's pretty good.
You noticed that was almost takeout weight. Well, it was takeout weight.
It was, because...
So just a little heavy on that one.
A little bit heavy, but that's not a bad shot there. Those rocks are positioned pretty good. But if Liam hits, if Felipe can hit what he can... Oh, they're going after the front stop.
Right.
Okay.
And where they have last rock, you want to keep that open as much as possible. So.
I think for the skippers, you want a path to the 4-foot.
Yep.
Final rock, possible. So Felipe throwing a fair amount of weight here, trying to run that rock back into the
Could get some bonus here.
Could. No,
wow.
That's okay.
Now, Michael will be asking Matt to put another one on top of that, I would think. He's coming with the other turn.
Yeah, probably on the center line is probably a good idea. So the thing here that is good for Donovan, but a little nerve-wracking for Liam, is that those blue rocks are in front of the tee line and in front of his. So it's...
The temptation here too might have been to ask Matt to come in and bump that, but you don't need to do that just yet.
No,
right?
You don't want to do that just yet. No, if you're the Donovan team, you're hoping for a mistake from the other team, because you know that Liam's going to have to move that granite out there.
Very nicely done for Matt.
In order to try to get more than one.
Yep.
So Liam asking Felipe to, I think, probably throw another...
straight back, huh?
Straight back, yeah. So quite a bit of weights coming up here. They're not very big, but they can throw a lot of weight.
Now with that weight, it didn't come over quite as much, so all right.
A little bit of a wobble coming out of the hack, so he might have...
overthrew that.
Trying to stay on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan looking to replace that rock front.
Yeah, exchanging that long guard or a guard keeps Donovan's rocks in play in the house. So even though Marin is lying there, right?
That's right. Because if this stays as is, he'll possibly keep Marin to just 1 point, so which is the plan, either that or steal. Nice weight by Lantagne. So as you can see, Arnold, those rocks are nicely scattered as well.
Yep, still being asked to take the longer guard out. And I'm thinking with one of these run backs, you're going to make some contact with the ones in the house eventually.
Eventually, yeah. So Tyler Smith now throwing for Team Marin.
Well, here we go. Wow. Thought he had something back there. Okay, so with the second of Darwin's Lantagne's rocks, the guard again, Marianne, I think.
Yeah, keep putting that up, and they want to keep hoping that Liam's team's going to make a mistake. Because those you don't want to mess. He doesn't want to mess with his own rocks in there, so he wants to.
A little more weight on this one, Marianne.
It's got a curl.
The Donovan team is kind of using the two sweeper where Matt was speaking that to try to make it curl.
So Liam asking Tyler to go after that again, putting the broom right in the middle of the rock. So Tyler has participated in Atlantic's provincials and nationals, winning Canada Winter Games twice. He's got a number of accomplishments at the junior national level. He was Junior Male Athlete of the Year in 2013. Looks like PI Junior Male Athlete. Good for him.
He made his run back, Marianne, but he also moved the second Donovan stone. I'm not sure if they're shot or not.
Yellow's still shot, still biting the button, and the other one is half at the forefoot. Now the only thing with this, Arnold, is that he did leave a guard up there for the Donovan team. So now what Michael would like to do is to go partly around that front stone.
Which is the shot they've been playing pretty much.
Exactly.
Josh was put two in there, and I think Matt attempted one as well. So.
Exactly. So if he gets this partly buried, so Liam will have to probably go after that front stone again, because there's no straight run. There won't be a straight run back. So he really wants this rock to overlap.
The only difference this time, I guess, as well, is that Liam will be bumping his own in. So.
Exactly.
They're working this.
There it goes. Weight looks pretty good, Arnold. Can get by that guard. Ooh, nice shot.
He just got by.
It's a pretty good shot.
He touched his, but I don't think he moved it significantly.
Well, he did move it for shot, that's for sure. But so it's very difficult for Liam to get those out because possible jam in the back there. So those two blue rocks are lined up. But if he tries to run his yellow back in on the rocks in the rings, the chances are pretty good that he's going to lose his own. So he's looking at
he's discussing draw now, right?
Well, I think he just wants to put a guard up, I think, is what he indicated.
A guard on the blue, or?
Well, a
guard for the forefoot.
Guard for the forefoot, probably.
Coming in, it probably isn't a bad, if you went to the top four. Of course, you don't want to give the run back, right?
Run back or the double taker.
Well, we'll see with that ISO, Marianne. We'll see where he want to direct it, because I thought they would have taken a little more ice. He's advancing, so they're playing the top guard. And this one, I think, is moving on them.
This is going to overcurl, I think, on them.
Yeah. Wow.
Over too far.
Now opportunity. Wonder if Michael can make, if he can touch is enough.
Well, ideally for him, he wants to try to keep Liam down to 1.
Yeah,
So
it's not so much
with,
about scoring as keeping him to 1 at this
with
point.
this, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea for him to just put one like at the top of the 12-foot ring and just guard that side of the 4-foot, because otherwise Liam would have an open draw into the 4-foot. Liam would just have to be full 4-foot for his 2. So you want to try, at this point, you want to try to concede and just make sure he just takes 1.
Well, they're not increasing that ice by very much, Marianne. And
I think, Arnold, I'm not sure, but I think he indicated that he wants to try to tap his blue, the top blue, onto the back blue, which is a really hard shot because you can't see it.
But I think I'd still want a little more ice.
Yeah.
The way that's been moving of late. Anyway, we'll see what kind of weight he comes up with. So you're thinking tap the blue.
Well, I thought that's what he indicated, unless he just wants to corner freeze onto it.
Yes, and
now
then and take the 4-foot away from.
Yeah. Because that's what you want to do at this point in time, is take the 4-foot away, because right now, like, Liam has that whole side of the rings to draw to for his 2.
He's got nice weight. They're just brushing for curl. He's got himself a nice shot here.
So,
piece of the button?
Piece of the button, but it looks like yellow's still shot, I think. Yeah, it looks like yellow's still shot. So
wow,
that was a really nice shot,
yes.
Because now Liam has to pretty well throw his rock away. He can't get in for second shot.
You would have thought he would have had enough movement on that, eh? But,
well, that was the plan. He didn't want to move it enough for a shot rock, but he is biting the button, but not quite enough. So Liam's going to just throw this rock away, and take his 1 and run.
So, after 5 ends, we have Marin with 4 and Donovan 2 after 5.
And we will be taking a short break, and we'll be back for the second half of the game.
same way in this game. Yeah. McGee is second.
But this is the percentage for the meet.
Oh, I see.
This is
Okay, so
the percentage.
yes, you're good with that. You're scoring for the position.
I'm scoring positions.
Yeah, which is what you should do. Absolutely. Yeah.
But I don't want to confuse you.
No.
Well, we're confused anyways. It doesn't take a whole lot.
For yourself.
Well, you didn't know when the provincials were.
The chairman of the Scotty says it's going to be.
Well, I'm glad you guys are listening.
For this one, we are now playing Canadian Public Library.
Yeah, so she's got a score.
Yeah. Lang Tang is playing what? He's second.
No, he's big.
That's what I meant.
McGee is the second.
Oh, right, McGee's second.
I mean, they switched it up.
Well, it's noon somewhere. Thank you. Well, it's hard to see that. We're waiting for the hack to be put back at the other end, I guess. We're gonna.
6 seconds.
But they can't start because hack's not fixed. So are we back on here? Oh, yeah.
Well, welcome back. We're just finishing our fifth end break, and the players are waiting for the hacks to be placed in their position.
Yeah, so in the fifth end break, Arnold, they just what they do is just put the little chamois on the ice, and they do a little bit of a pebble from the hack to the about the tee line, I believe, is where I saw it stop. So
Yep, which tends to be the sliding area.
sliding path, yeah, to keep that going. So I think it's a good idea to do that because it helps keep the slide path going. So just to give you an update of the scores in the other games on sheet 6, they're in their sixth end at the present time, and Como is leading Clough 3-1. On sheet 7, they're in their fifth end break, and I wonder if they blanked the fifth because the score is still 6-4 for Lewis over Rob Show. On sheet 8, the score there is 4-3 for Tracy over McCabe, and in our feature game, Marin picked up one in the fifth end, so it's 4-2 Marin over Donovan, and we're starting the sixth end. And you are watching the 2017 Papa John's Under 21 Provincial Curling Championship.
Here at Carl Moulton. Papa John's being the major sponsor. Bob Lee Productions, Modern Construction 1983, and Shoppers Drug Mart. We thank them for their support. And of course, this is being brought to you with Bell Alliant 5 TV1. So Marin played his rock at the back of the forefoot, and Donovan is ignoring that and trying to get the corner guard, which Josh was successful with. Now this is Marin is asking for a possible tick shot, and by his first, he indicated if he could rub that blue and come over to center ice. Well, actually, he's just playing the center ice guard. Yeah.
So Dylan McDonald throwing for Team Marin.
I think he's a little heavier than what he was looking for. He's actually in the house, so that can be hit.
McDonald brought his numbers up, so he's now curling at 70%.
So hit and roll being indicated by Donovan. Josh Nowlan.
Josh Nowlan brought his numbers up as well. He's now curling at 95%.
With that weight,
Looks like they might get the front rock, which he is.
okay.
Removed it, but didn't stick around, which is unfortunate. He wants some rocks in play at this point in time. So Liam looking to put another front stone up. Felipe has different ideas. He wants to remove that corner guard and roll to the center. So Felipe curling at 95%. He's having a strong game.
Yeah, front ends in the 90s is certainly welcomed.
It's nice. Nice to set up the ends for the skipper. Got the hit, but a nose hit, so he's just going to stay there. So Donovan's going to utilize that corner guard, ignoring the rock that Marin has in the rings, because it's not a bad idea to go back there, because the rock for Marin is behind the tee line and it's back 4 foot, so it's not a big concern at the present time. If he can get a rock in behind that corner guard, he can hopefully generate more than one point. So Matt McGee throwing for Team Donovan. He's playing at 95%. He's having a really good game.
They've got a brush at Marianne to, oh. Wow. There's a bit of a bonus.
Exactly.
They were brushing that, but that was still curling, and I think Matt might have been just a tad heavy, so they had to brush it to get by the guard, but it probably would have been back 8 foot, because it did make contact with shot rock here in the center.
Exactly, and it rolled quite a bit into the rings onto the shot rock, so they're looking to remove that.
And this one's starting to move on them too. I think they're going to have a bit of a...
They might lose their back, I think.
Okay, tit for tat on that one. So again, Michael Donovan's asking for a rock behind that corner guard.
Sweepers going at it early.
Working at this,
They
and they
can get that to curl some. He looks he is lighter for sure this time, so it's getting some nice curl. Whether or not it'll come far enough back to go behind there. Oh,
he's got a
not
biter,
quite, just
but
a biter.
Yep, still has to be played.
So the good thing is, Arnold, at least he knew he needed a bit less weight than his first one.
Yes, yes.
Tyler Smith now throwing for Team Marin. He's playing at 80%, so he's having a good game as well.
And we invite local fans that there's nothing like seeing these games live here at Carl Moncton, 80 Lockard Avenue. With the construction going on here, Carl Moncton is undertaking an addition of 5 extra sheets, which is intended to be completed here in March of 2018. It's well underway, and parking is at a premium, but there is parking, so don't let that discourage you from coming down and seeing some of these juniors perform live here at Carl Moncton.
Some really good games here, Arnold. Very good. A lot of really nice shots made. Donovan playing at 78%. Nicely done. Nice way to stick around. So sitting 1 and 2 at the present time.
And they do have last drop, so this end is setting up nicely for them. Things fairly wide open. I see we have a tie of 6-6 in the sixth end between Lewis and Robichaud.
Exchanging multiples, aren't they?
Yep.
Well, this was a little bit underthrown, I think, from Tyler.
Lots of
Stick
action.
around. Stick around the back. Looks like he might just be off the rings.
And that rock that they're looking at, Marianne, of course, has to be completely off that red back line. If it's touching it in any which way, shape, or form, it has to stay in. So they've removed it.
So obviously it was out thirds agreeing, or the thirds
Yep.
and the skips agreeing.
Yep. So now an open draw here. The open side. Anywhere really in the house, Marianne, I think, for Montaigne.
Yeah, he's trying to generate his another two-ender for himself.
Nicely done. Sweeper's just bringing that in. T-line. Very nice. All right, so the first of Skip's rocks here at sixth end. Liam will be looking just to remove this and obviously stay around to put the onus back on Donovan to take him out. And I guess, well, if he stays right there, it's not a bad shot either, but he might want to roll into the center part of the ice.
Yes, that would be ideal for him. Liam's numbers have come down a little bit. He's down to 65%.
And he was a bit full on that, Marianne, from my viewpoint, and they haven't laid a broom to it, so...
Doesn't look like he's going to stick around. No.
Not bad weight, just, like I say, a little full on the delivery. Yep.
So this gives Michael a chance to throw a draw and get a feel for his draw weight. We saw him draw back in the fourth end. Nicely done, and he's got another opportunity. Anytime that a skip has the opportunity to throw a draw is nice to get into their comfort zone in case they need it later on in the game.
Marianne, is there a temptation to try and maybe bury over on the other side of the sheet? You know, that would that tempt you to maybe try to bury your second rock?
At this point, I wouldn't, because if you come up shorter, you could set him up for a double. You could set Liam up for a double. So I don't think I would, because, and even if you do try to go behind, if you go too far back, you're going to give Liam a chance to sit right on top of it.
And there goes your deuce.
There goes your deuce, and you're stuck with your line. So this way, if he can put this on the tee line, they will force Liam to go after it.
Yeah, that's a sweeper's delight. They were just on and off that, and nicely thrown.
Shot. So see, in this case, Arnold, Liam has to go after it, and because otherwise, had he gone on the other side, he could have given Liam a chance to find his draw weight and sit right on top of it.
So the last of Marin's stones here in the sixth end. Just throwing a takeout and with the hopes of forcing Michael Donovan to come down and do the same.
exactly. So
and possibly roll out. So
yeah,
only
so he
scoring
really
one.
wants to stick around this time, Arnold, to
Yep.
the nose hitter to roll a little bit on the inside to change the track.
He's going to get the inside roll, all right. And he's got a nice shot. Move it to the center of the... And as you say, that just changes. They've been playing, 3 or 4 stones down that very same spot. Now this changes it up just a little bit. It's right on that 4-foot line, so we'll see how it performs with Michael Donovan's last drop here in the 6th inning.
So he's really looking for an nose hit to get his deuce. So Donovan curling at 75%. He's having a pretty decent game as well.
How are the team averages?
Team averages for team Donovan as a team, they're playing at 78%, and for the Marin team, they're playing at 84%.
Wow.
So that's unfortunate.
There again, just the strategy pulled out. Just moving that a little bit. He probably had a little more weight than he needed. And the score of 1 here after 6 remains Marin 4 and Donovan 3 after 6 ends of play. And these are 10-end games. There are 2 other draws here today at Carl Moncton, 2 o'clock and at 7 o'clock this evening. Saturday we have games at 8:30, 1:30, and 6:30. And the tournament completes itself on Sunday at 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6:30 p.m. with the finals.
So you're watching the Papa John under 21 provincial boys and girls curling championship here at Carl Moncton.
Yes, a shout out to our sponsors, Papa John's, of course, being the principal sponsor of this event, Bobley Productions, Modern Construction 1983 Limited, and Shoppers Government. Thank you very much. And of course, Bell and White 5 B1 heads out to their as well with the broadcasts. There are 2 games actually being live streamed here today.
So Michael asking Josh to go after that rock. So obviously it's in the rings, so you can remove the rocks if they're in the rings, but not if they're just outside.
Right, the 4-rock rule is still in effect. They were talking, Marianne, of possibly moving to a 5-rock rule. I know the Grand Slam events have had that, I think, for the last, certainly this year and perhaps last year. But whether the World Curling Federation would go to that is yet it's a bit unknown.
So Liam asking Dylan to go in the rings on the other side of the ring, trying to stay away from that corner guard, because he knows that corner guard will be nothing but trouble for him, possibly. Nicely done.
So indicating here, Michael's asking for Matt to hit and get a roll behind that guard that you just mentioned. So you want to be throwing it firm enough. It's a long way to roll, right? Lots of movement on that one, Marianne.
There is.
However, he did take the rock out, which is, of course, the first objective.
You want to make it go away.
The roll is a bonus.
Exactly.
Almost negative ice here for Felipe.
It's fairly straight there in takeouts. They haven't been taking a whole lot of ice for hits.
Well, true to form. That's in fact, if anything, he's going to hit and roll out.
Just outside the rings. So this gives Donovan a chance to try to bring one behind that corner guard.
In this area, Marianne has been curling very nicely too.
Changed his mind.
Well, they don't have last rock, so there's no sense going in just yet, right?
So he's looking for a center line stone. And still second stone, so it's a good idea to do that, try to generate some offense here. Try to clog up the center of the sheet to give him a chance at a steal.
They haven't laid a broom to it, but it's looks like it'll finish up fine. Matt McGee with his last of his second stones in this seventh end. Little deep, Marianne.
A little bit deep. I think the double's probably there, Arnold.
They haven't updated the score, but Donovan has in fact scored one in the sixth, and it is 4-3.
And here, if he goes for the double, they have to be careful because there's still that yellow way over on the right-hand side there that there could be a jam possibility, depending where he hits. Oh, he avoided that. Nicely done. Yep. Nice shot by Felipe.
The shooter remained there as a corner guard, but it's deep enough and over enough that I think shouldn't be a concern. And Erwin Lontang is just being asked for center line guard.
Nice weight being thrown here.
Yep.
Yeah, the players haven't updated the scoreboard yet, so they're in the seventh end, and it is 4-3 for Team Marin over Donovan. Get to open up the front here. Just gotta move that other rock in there or punched it in.
So again, we're playing the center line guard on the Donovan side and guard removal on the Marine side. Once that gets off the 4-foot line, Marianne, that should finish nicely.
Finish. They've been finishing.
There we go. They've just updated the score, so.
So Liam working hard to try to keep the front open because his main thing is he wants to have the path to the button.
Lots of weight here. He might get the both removal this time. Wow, just missed it.
Just missing it by rolling on top.
Now, do you think, Marianne, that Michael might be looking to go in?
I think it's probably a good time, Arnold, to go in and try to force Liam to take one.
So
with that amount of ice, Arnold, I'm thinking that's what they're doing, is they're going to try to go around that yellow corner guard.
And this will be on the sweepers because once it gets to crosses that center line, that stone will move.
It will.
We have a very low-scoring game on ice 6, 3-1 after.
They haven't put the score up in the sixth end, so.
Yeah, after 5. So, yeah. I think we said they blanked that, right?
But they're in the 7th end.
Yes, correct.
A little bit heavy here for Michael.
And with that weight, it did not want to cross that center line. So.
Now here, Arnold, they're just trying to decide whether or not that rock is to be removed from play because it looks like it's touching the back line.
It's off the rings, though?
I believe it's off the rings, but you know, if push came to shove, I would put the 12-foot measurement on there. Because you never know if the rings are a little bit on the fat side.
So we're looking for a little bit of a split here, perhaps, Marianne?
It looks like that's what he's going to try, yeah. With Liam's first shot. So Liam has had a number of accomplishments. He's 5-time New Brunswick under-18 champion, all as a skip. And this is his last year of under-18 eligibility this year. So the other players in that category are probably glad that he's getting out of there.
Yes, the under-18s are being held in St. Andrews, I believe, this year.
Okay. And Liam's been to the 2017 Canadian Junior under-21. He placed 8th in Victoria last year. And he played in the inaugural Canadian under-18 in Moncton last year, and he placed 7th. Oh, he was looking at
he was looking at just removing that, yep, keeping it open.
Okay. I would like to see him try the split. I don't know if it would have been there, but
I think it was there. But coming home with hammer in the 8th end isn't terrible either. The even ends, right? These are 10-end games, so.
Yeah. So Donovan looking at throwing another draw into the rings. And his thought process here is probably he could possibly use that back blue one as a catcher.
He's definitely going for that side. Probably doesn't need to go too deep. T-line or better?
I think probably T-line. T-line are better, and it kind of makes Liam think a little bit with his last stroke, because he wouldn't want to jam it on the back and have his roll out too far and give up the steal. So
he's basically got the same path as he had on his first.
He's got to make some movement though, staying out there.
Kind of a sweeper stone right now.
Across the hog line and start to make some movement now.
Yeah, that's what he asked for. There it is.
It's a nice shot.
So the last of Marin's stones here in the 7th end to be delivered by Liam.
So he's looking at a blank end. Although that one in the back does look like it's off the rings, but if Liam is successful at blanking this, it's hard to tell from the overhead whether or not that back one's in. It looks like it's out. However, you could probably take a chance in measuring it just to see what's happening there.
So the last rock of the 7th end is underway. Attempting a takeout and roll out himself. That's moving on him.
It is. Oh.
Yep. Takes this one. Seems a little disappointed with that, but he's up 2.
Well, he's up 2 and it's gone, right? So he's up by 2 and that rock is gone. So it's not a bad thing.
No.
Ideally, the blank would be good, but it's not bad. So you are watching the under-21 Papa John's Provincial Championship here in Moncton, New Brunswick. And you are watching the game between Michael Donovan and Liam Marin, and the score is 5-3 for Marin after 8 ends. These are 10-end games, and it's a triple knockout. So this is the like the A qualifier or the A final, I guess. And then the teams with the triple knockout, teams have to lose 3 games before they're gone. So these teams, even the loser of this game is not out. They just drop down to another bracket, then the winner drops down as well. So that's how the triple knockout works out.
Yes, and we have 7 boys or men's teams and 4 girls, ladies teams competing here this weekend for the rights to represent the province of New Brunswick at the Under 21 Championships.
And I think the championships are in, I think I saw that they're in Shawinigan, I think.
I read it earlier, but I don't. So Liam has stayed on with putting one in the house, and Josh of Team Donovan is being asked for the corner guard. It's pretty well the routine they've played all game.
Yes, Donovan looking at putting corner guards up to try to generate some offense here.
And Marianne, it's interesting that they've not played the right-hand side of the ice in the same type of strategy all game. So
Exactly.
Interesting. Change it up a little bit.
So just to update you on the scores on the other sheets, after 7 ends, Team Como is up on Team Clough 3-2. And we'll update you on sheet 7 in a second. They're just coming down with, I think they're the last rock. So Team Tracy is up on Team McCabe 5-4, and that's after 7 ends. Right now, on Team Lewis is up on Team Robichaud 7-6, and they're in their 7th end, so, but they're coming down to their last rock, the last couple rocks.
And 5-3 for Marin over Donovan here in the featured game on ice 9 here at the Carl Moncton. So. Josh is being asked to come in to that shot rock.
Just looking at a freeze or maybe a little bit of a tap back.
Nice movement.
Did they wait too long? I think. Oh. Whoa, nice shot.
And he's got a bit of a flip as well. So.
Yep, exactly.
And is now shot rock.
Shot rock. I know you can see that Liam is asking to do like a run back. However, with that yellow rock going behind the tee line, there is a possibility for a jam. So Liam will be keeping an eye on that. So each team has 2 timeouts, and both these teams still have both their timeouts. So
they're not touching this, Marianne, so they're going to get the yellow, and, well, they do make contact with the blue. Very good.
Yeah. So Liam's team still has 15.5 minutes left to play, and Team Donovan has 17 minutes left.
Yeah, time shouldn't be of an issue in these matches. There's usually
it shouldn't be. I think they're
they're well disciplined, and
they still have to keep an eye on the clock. Usually, one of the players is in charge of keeping an eye on the clock, because you certainly don't want to run out of time. So Michael asking Matt here to try to go around that corner guard, and there's a lot of room there to get around. So
yeah, I'm not sure if it was where the ice broom placement was, but nowhere near the corner guard. So.
The weight was good, though.
Yep.
The weight was good, so they just needed maybe less ice. So Liam asking Felipe to remove that rock and hopefully get a bit of a roll.
We're getting some movement on this one, Marianne. Again, that may have been started just based on where he came out.
Yeah.
We tend to use the word pick when something like that happens, but I really think it was a question of him turning it in, because I haven't seen too much debris on the ice, and it's been well maintained. And yeah.
It has.
So Matt is being asked to take out for number 2 stone back of the house. Again, they're just
nice weight. Nicely thrown.
Once again, Donovan's objective is to get his 2 in this end and tie this game up. It's been back and forth, missed opportunities on both sides. So.
It has. And Liam asking Tyler here to remove that rock in the 8-foot rings and hopefully clip the back one as well. So the thing with this, if he does accomplish that, his shooter, he'll probably use the shooter. Maybe he's asking to.
Actually,
sometimes
they're going to be close, Marianne.
Sometimes they put the broom down, and we're kind of left guessing to see what they're going to do. So. So Donovan looking to remove that rock and stay, which would be ideal for him because if he rolls over towards the center, you're setting up for a possible double.
Plenty of weight on this, Marianne.
They're really thing to do.
Wow, we may get a jam out of this. Wow.
It's unfortunate.
Just, I think that was maybe just a little overthrown. And at that, we were right around that 4-foot line as well, so it tends to stay a little straighter. So a combination of that and the weight.
Yes.
Worst case scenario.
So Liam looking to add another one in the rings. Looking to split the rings up. Brusher's not applying a brush to it at all, so it looks a little bit hot, but whether it looks like it's still going to stop when judging with the brushers. So by going back there, this gives Donovan the opportunity, if he wants, to hit that one on the 4-foot and roll, but it looks like he's going to...
He's debating, Marion.
Well, he's showing a freeze, but there seems to be a bit of discussion.
Now the objective, I think, is to hit and perhaps freeze, and they're asking for a timeout.
They're asking for a timeout, so they want to have a bit more of a discussion to it.
So this is the first of their 2 timeouts?
First of their 2 timeouts. So this is a good time to stop and have a bit of a discussion about this. There's Michael seems to have a few shots in his head, but it's just Donovan throwing. It's he needs to be comfortbe with what he's throwing as well. So there's 2 schools of thought here. They can freeze on one of those rocks because they have the hammer. If he hits and tries to, then he's conceding to either just taking one or blanking. So it's a matter of
Way to go.
they need to agree on something, and Donovan needs to be comfortable as far as throwing as well. So to update you on the sheet that they weren't done in the 7th end, looks like Robichaud is up on Lewis now, 8-7. So Robichaud took 2 in the 7th end, and they are now playing the 8th end. So they're playing a little bit of a seesaw battle over there, and scoring multiples, so they must have a few rocks in play every end, it looks like.
And they're in the end?
They are.
All games are now in the 8th end.
Timeout must be over, so they've decided.
We don't know what they've decided just yet, but...
we don't know, and we may not see the indication. We'll just see the broom. Oh, freeze onto the shot rock. That's the indication here.
You certainly want your rock in play, right? At the end of the day, when Liam comes to throw his, you want to give him something to have to throw at, so... for it to cross that 4-foot line.
pretty good. Pressure's going on a bit. Hopefully it's got enough steam to get there. Although,
Might be a little short.
well, like we've seen, once it crosses, it really digs in there. So he is a little bit short. That's unfortunate for them. Touch that rock, so they just moved it back. Both skips are happy with it. So Liam looking at removing that rock that was just put there by Donovan.
The option for him too, he's playing two. He could choose to guard that center line. This is his first, right? But he's choosing to take that blue out, which is line number 3rd, and hopefully stay around. That accomplishes his guard as well, right?
Exactly. This is Liam's first shot, looking at removing that Donovan rock there at the top of the 12-foot ring. Must have started it a little bit because got on it right away.
Wow.
Losing his shot rock, but the blue is gone. So
Yeah, that could have been terrible, couldn't it?
it certainly could have, yeah. Yeah, so he must have rolled it a little bit because Felipe got on it right away. So
He certainly had all kinds of weight, so
no. Because Donovan's probably looking at trying to draw around that guard as well, that front stone on the 12-foot. It'd be good if he could partly bury one back there in front of the tee line, because at least that'll give him an idea for his last shot as well. Because with him being down 5-3, and there's a couple opposing rocks in there, he might be left with a draw. So it's good to get that in his back pocket.
Marianne, once again, the ice, he's just at the 4-foot line, so we'll see if, based on his weight, how well this will come in.
Exactly.
I'd almost be tempted to play the outturn over in the further part of the sheet, which they've played a lot of, but we'll see.
I guess it all boils down to a lot of skips have favorite turns.
Sure.
So it all boils down to what he's comfortable doing, and
they're holding this well. Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes too is what you want to skip to throw as well. So they're sweeping it, but it's not.
It's not finishing.
It's not finishing. So this is pretty well open for Liam.
And that was good weight.
That was really good weight for Michael.
Liam's objective, actually, if he stays right there, puts the pressure on Donovan to have to take him out and stay and not roll.
Too, where Liam seemed to be rolling his turns. Maybe this is what Michael was hoping, and he threw this one really well.
Yep.
Rolling out, so this gives Michael a chance for a draw for his one.
His single point. Yep.
So he needs to be at least in the 8-foot ring for his one.
So mission accomplished for Marin. You let them take one and you take your twos. So.
Exactly.
And you can. So the last rock of this, the 8th end of the 10-end game by Michael Donovan, hoping to score his single point. Facing two Marin stones. They haven't laid a bird to this, Marianne, but I think his weight's good.
Speed's pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Just needed the 8-foot, so.
Yeah, pretty good. As indicated by the team. Well done.
So 5-4 after 8. Marin over Donovan.
Great, you're watching the Papa John's under 21 boys and girls provincial championships here at Moncton. And other sponsors to note, Arnold, besides Papa John being the main sponsor, we have Bob Lee Productions, Modern Construction Limited, and Shoppers Drug Mart as well. We thank and appreciate all those companies and people who have helped this championship successful.
And of course our broadcaster, Bell Alliant 5 TV1. We're also going to be in St. John at the Jimmy Sullivan Spiel, which I'll be traveling to this afternoon. Women's and men's teams from all over Atlantic Canada playing in that bonspiel.
So another front stone here by the Donovan team. So the Marin team looking to go around. Dylan McDonald looking to bring one around that front stone. You want to make sure here too that you try to stay in front of the tee line, because if the minute that you slip behind there, you're giving the team a chance to sit down on top of it.
And that is a little bit deep.
Looks like it's right on the tee line, though.
Yep.
Yep, just ahead of the tee line.
Now I see they're increasing their ice a little bit, Marianne. They're almost out to the 8-foot line.
Right.
We'll see how that works. And weight's always the factor here. They're not letting it brush to it. Here it comes. He's a tad heavy, I think, on this.
Seems to be.
I believe he shot rock, is he? Or is he? Blue shot.
He is shot rock. He's biting part of the butt, bigger chunk.
However, if Liam has his way, it'll be short-lived.
So Liam looking to remove this rock.
He's got a nice rock.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Might even get a little bit of a roll. Oh, a little bit too far.
Well, the pocket is now created there, Marianne, so
Yes.
Matt McGee will be asked to... and it's not about being number one as much as being on top of those two yellow ones.
I'm not sure, Arnold, but I think we have a final in the ladies' game. They're off the ice. I don't know how many. I'm guessing Team Como took
Multiples.
in the 8th end, so we'll have to wait and see till the scoreboard is updated. But it looks like Como has won over Clough.
I've just been informed that they took 4 in that end, so puts it a little bit out of reach.
So 7-2 for Como, if in fact they did take 4. I'm just updating you in the other games. Team Robertshow is leading Team Lewis 8-7 end, and Team Tracy is leading Team McCabe 5-4, and they're in the 9th end. Although they might not have updated the 8th end yet. And in our feature game, Team Marin is leading Team Donovan 5-3, and they're in the 9th. And Liam removing that front stone there once that opened up.
I guess Matt was a little bit strong with his draw attempt. He's at the back of the 8-foot, so not really what they were looking for. The problem here, Marianne, is you take those 2 out, and guess where that second one's going?
Exactly.
Unless he hits it quietly and just, which I think is what he's doing.
He may just want to jiggle them around,
right.
Because at this point in time, it's you don't remove them totally, not necessarily. You want to try to have some rocks back there as catchers, but this is not curling to his liking, I don't think. No. Oh, it's not bad.
No, no. Two blue are still in play. However, shot rock remains Marin.
Yeah, it looks like one is second shot, but it's pretty close between the back blue and the back yellow. So Liam looking to try to get maybe a roll inside by going after the outside blue one here. So he's asking Felipe to, and I think the double's probably there, Arnold. If he hits it right on the double's probably, which is probably what he's looking at as well.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. So
Exactly.
you have to wait here though, because it tends to.
So we get some kind of a roll. No, I guess not. Stand to be corrected.
So that is what? That might be number 3.
Well, I think the back yellow is number 3.
Okay.
So this one is probably number 4.
So they're playing it. They're looking for that roll again into the.
Yeah, this yellow one is number 4. The two back rocks are fairly close, but it looks like the blue one is a little bit closer than the other. So Donovan looking to get a bit of a roll with this rock. A little bit, but I think he wanted a bigger roll.
Sure. However, it's still there for second stone.
Exactly.
Smith is being asked to take out the blue, and it looks like it's maintaining it. We may get a jam here. See how that fell back with that weight?
Oh, wow. Just a
Wow.
little nudge.
Yeah, that extra weight, Marianne. I think he may have been off the broom a bit too.
Yeah, now that's not necessarily in a very good spot for him because now that yellow rock.
It's hard to remove, eh? So we call that a bad miss. So Montaigne is being asked just to freeze on the shot rock, which is done.
And the players don't want to talk about it, so they're asking for a timeout. They'd like to discuss this further. Coach Daryl Nowlin will be out there and having a bit of a discussion with the players. And this is their second timeout. So it looks like they have 11 and a half minutes left in their game. And Team Marin has almost 13 minutes left.
These are 10-end games, so
And they're good for time, I think. So Daryl Nowlin up there discussing different possibilities.
No, that yellow one's not going anywhere.
See, that shot rock is in a really good position because if it's to come a little bit too heavy, pushes that blue one back, then he gives Liam an opportunity to remove some hands on it.
and there's the story of threes continues over on ice 7 with Lewis in the 8th end, scoring a 3 under, changing the score there. Lewis 10, Robichaud 8, and they're playing in the 9th end.
If we score, that's what. 2 would be nice. Yeah. Okay, guys? We got 2 timeouts if we need them, okay?
So, timeout is finished. And Montaigne will be asked to bump those. Are they actually going to try and take out Marianne, do you think?
Looks like he's taking it out.
We'll see with the ice here. Yeah. I mean, if he can stay there and get
Well,
moved,
he could be sitting 3.
Get moved.
No, it's sitting 2 after this.
Yeah, get movement on that yellow across the house. Throwing good weight. Well, that was interesting. He comes out with shot rock. However, they're lined up now for Liam to...
There's a couple different double possibilities there, depending. Yeah, Liam has a chance for a double here. And he'll be sitting 3, but he doesn't want to set up there. Yeah.
So this is the last of mate Smith for the Marine team.
So he needs to a good part of the nose here. Over curling. Oh.
So we get the jam.
On the back.
Wow. Boy, this end has certainly turned around.
It has. So that blue in the back is no.
Number 2, or?
I think looks like number 2, the blue in the back. Looks like the yellow over on the left-hand side is shot rock, and the blue in the back is second shot. Looks like. Yes, things can turn around very quickly. So Donovan looking at freezing onto that that yellow with maybe just touching it back a little bit.
Right, just to ensure that you are 1 and 2.
He just needs to tap it. They're pretty close, so he just needs to kind of give it a little bit of a tap.
An important shot here for
very important.
Michael, who doesn't have last rock in this 9th end of the 10-end game. So
he's thrown a few draws, so he should know his draw weight.
the ice here, because once it gets to the center line, that'll finish for him. It's all about weight.
It is.
So the first of Donovan's skips rocks here in the 9th end.
Brusher's communicating the weight to Josh.
He was very close to that center line on release there. There he is.
It should start moving now after the hog. It looks pretty good as long as it's got the weight. Bring it back a bit. If they left it too long? Oh, I think they did. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't mind his weight so much. I think he could have used him. Could have taken a little more. I'm not sure where he came out on the broom. He may not have made it to the broom either. So.
Well, he was a little bit light. He wanted to touch that back a little bit. So that's now third shot.
I mean, it's in play, and it looks like.
Well, this is still a tough shot for Liam because he's got to deal with that, and then with his right behind it sitting at shot rock, deal with it because otherwise Donovan's going to do something within this next shot probably.
Has Marin called any timeouts as yet?
No, not yet. He still has both. Yes.
This may be an opportunity for. He seems to know what he wants to do.
And they both still have a bit over 10 minutes left in the game talk time, so they still have enough time to have a little chat. Enough time for the 10th end.
So going for the top blue, and I guess he would hope to flip towards the center.
Some soft weight here because he certainly wants to stick around, but that is really moving over there now.
They're holding it. Wow.
It's a nice shot. But
And he
still
moves it over to the 4-foot to become shot rock. And he moved his back one as well, Marianne. I don't know who's number 2.
he did. Number 2 is the blue one in the back there.
Okay.
Yeah, that lonely blue back there is number 2. So Donovan has to do something here because
Liam has last rock, so it's he's got to try to get a couple out of here. And,
Yeah, he's indicating a double. The big thing is for him to roll his shooter, hopefully to the other side, to leave Liam the double straight back, right?
exactly. So at this point in time, you want to try to keep Liam to just scoring one. So if he can get this double and roll to the other side, but that's going to be tough for him to get the double and roll to the other side because of where he has to hit. Because he might lose.
That's right.
He might lose a shooter.
They're coming with this turn, which I guess you need to let it curl a little bit by, save your shooter, and accomplish the double that way.
And depending where he hits, if he wants to roll towards the right-hand side of the rings, depending where he hits, that yellow.
He does have that catcher, yes, exactly. Yeah. All right, so this is the last of Donovan stones here in the ninth end. So they're not rushing it.
Rushing it, throwing a fair amount of weight. They might have to change the plan and go for the other double. Oh dear.
Wow. All right, so Donovan is shot rock. However, it's a lonely blue stone there. The second and third stone for Marin.
And this is not a gimme. This is a tough takeout. To get his three. This is a last shot coming up for Liam Marin. He needs to hit. Well, even if he doesn't stick, he'll still get his. He removes this blue one from the rings.
The big thing is to make it go away.
To make it go away. So
interesting how this end has progressed too.
It has. Just to update you on other scores, it's a final on sheet 6. Defeating Cliff. That's a ladies' game, 7-2. On sheet 7, Lewis is up on Robichaud, 10-8, and they're in the 9th end, and they still have a bunch of rocks in play. On sheet 8, can't see the score just yet, but I will update you in a minute.
And they're in the 10th.
And it is 7-5 for Tracy over McCabe. Nice shot there by Liam. Is he going to stick around? No. So he still gets his 2, though. He still gets his 2. So it's 7-4 after 8 ends.
9 ends.
9 ends, sorry.
Yep.
And coming up to the 10th end. So 7-4 for Marin over Donovan.
Bit of a tough challenge for Donovan. There hasn't been a 3-ender scored in this game as yet, so they're really going to have to strategize what they want to do. I would suggest that Marin is probably going to throw it through, or no, he's going to the button.
Going to the button. Yep. And they both have about 9 minutes left to play in this end, so that's more than enough time to play the 10th end. So time management has been very good for both these teams.
Yep. Just a reminder that you're watching Bell Alliant 5 or TV1, the under 21 Papa John's, who is the corporate sponsor for this event. Papa John's Pizza, along with Bob Lee Productions, Modern Construction 1983, and Shoppers Drug Mart. We thank those sponsors for their support.
Now, Dylan McDonald coming in a little bit deep, so Donovan going for the corner guard again. Like you said a while ago, Arnold, they keep going to the same side of the corner guard.
At this point, I'd like to try the other side, see what that entails, because we haven't had much come around on this side.
Yeah, because once they get their corner guard up, they're having a hard time to get around it. So unless they're just not coming out to the broom, I'm not sure why, but why they can't get around the corner guards. Like you said, it'd be a good idea maybe.
Just change it up.
Attempt to go on the other side, and but again. Michael might be doing this because if push comes to shove in the end and Liam has to throw an intern, maybe he knows that Liam does something with his intern, so he wants to throw that. So it's hard to tell what the thought process is at this point in time.
Well, they got their corner guard, Josh Nowlin. We're asking for another rock in the house, which again, this has been their strategy all game. They've been back and forth. Second corner guard being asked.
So that was a nice draw by Dylan.
That almost looks like takeout ice, but he did ask for a corner guard.
Yeah, he needs to generate more than 2 points. So he needs a couple more yards up there and hope that they can get something around it. It's a little bit lighter on this one than they see. They haven't used this side. A little bit short. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that just a different path there. He was just center line of that ice. He probably could have been a little bit more to the left, I would think. However,
and he threw it a little bit light, so they haven't used that part of the ice a whole lot
that's
either.
True. That's true.
So it's hard to tell. It's like.
Well, there's the corner guard they wanted.
There's the corner guard they wanted. Yeah.
All right.
So Donovan trying to see if he's going to try to make use of that now, or although it's Matt McGee's. Is his first or second shot?
This is his first, I believe.
First, so it's not a bad idea to put a second corner guard up with his first. Matt McGee curling at 75%. Team averages are pretty tight. They're both curling at 77%, so it's pretty consistent.
Typically, Marianne, you want your front end curling in the 80s and 90s, and I guess obviously you want them curling as high as you can.
As high as you can, yeah.
In the back end, I mean, certainly anything in the 80s is usually pretty good.
Percentage are a guide, but it's a team effort because the skip has to put the broom in the right place, and you've got your brushers, and the weight comes into play. So it's like the average is a little bit of an indication, but some of the players have tougher shots than others. So it's a whole team effort, really.
And I think typically the coaches these days don't really share those percentages with they don't want the players hung up with that. So.
No, and you don't want to get hung up with that, because if you're hung up on percentages, then that's part of your game. Part of your game is going to go. You're going to be worrying about that rather than worrying about making the shot. So this is nice weight by Matt McGee.
But you know what? That took a while to finish, Marianne.
Took a while to finish, yeah. Slipped back a little bit, but that's okay because the main point now is if you're the Donovan team, you want to try to get some rocks in the rings and then try to force Team Marin into making some errors. So Liam asking Tyler to remove this rock, and so you want to err on the side of caution. If he doesn't remove the rock, as long as he removes that guard that's up there, so either way,
he's a little tight, Marianne. I think that's exactly what's going to be happening. He's got nice weight though. Oh, good shot. Very nice. Very nice.
Good brushing.
Yep.
To try to keep that rock straight. Very nice.
So Team Marin is lying 3 without hammer.
So now if you're Team Donovan, you don't necessarily, well, it depends. There's 2 schools of thought here. He could hit and roll behind the guard, or you could try and just tap that back towards the back of the rings to give him something to catch on. So.
Marianne, you wouldn't be tempted coming around the other turn and on the back stuff here?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet, because this is Donovan.
Okay.
So, if he can just tap that back a bit.
Montagne's a little bit late.
Or freeze. I think the initial indication was to tap it back a bit, but sometimes they have a discussion and they change their mind, so which we don't have access to.
No.
So here with Liam going after this rock. You never know, mistakes can be made, and then ends, as we've seen, can change very quickly.
Tyler basically throws nice weight here, Smith, so...
a lot of weight coming down.
Yeah. Make it go away.
Go away. You don't have to stick around at this point. For the Marine team, the less rocks in play, the better.
So his freeze is being called for.
So this rock now is a must. This rock has to stay there because Team Donovan down by 3. So at this point in time, Marin, it's probably a good idea to try to freeze somewhere.
Yes.
I think I might be tempted to freeze on the top one, maybe.
They're debating amongst themselves which ones, but
because they don't have another timeout, but they do have time to discuss because they have 7.5 minutes. They do have time to talk about it, so they certainly have enough time. Discussing different scenarios because this rock really has to stay in the rings in order for them to.
Well, that's
stay
right.
In the game.
And actually, either freeze. I prefer this one myself, the one at the back. It'll force Marin to make a play on it.
Yeah.
Maybe move that front one.
He could, exactly.
They're giving 8 feet of ice, so we'll see how it finishes here. Again, weight sensitive.
So Donovan Lontang with his second shot. Pressure's communicating the weight. Looks starting to move now, so whether or not it's going to move too much.
They have the freeze on the top.
He's a little bit light, Arnold.
Altogether.
Oh.
It almost seems like maybe the weight's changing a little bit out there, or at least they're...
If I was Liam, I think I'd be leaving this alone. If I'd be Liam, I'd just be throwing this rock away because...
You're concerned with a possible jam?
Oh, yeah. I would be going near that rock.
It's not like
I'd be throwing it
Donovan would have
through
an
the
easy
rings.
time of bringing it into play either. If it was close to the rings, maybe.
If it was closer to the rings, yeah, he could do something with it, but at that point where it's way out there, Donovan can't do anything about it.
No, they really needed to be down 3. Final end, you really needed that stone to be in play. He's got nice weight here.
Sweet, and he's removed it successfully, so
that pretty well completes the
first
first A, well, not really saying qualifier, but they did win the A title. So the final score is 4 for Marin over Donovan here at Curl Moncton. Just a reminder that there are 2 more draws today at 2 o'clock and 7 p.m., followed by 3 draws tomorrow at 8:30, 2:30, 6:30, and then on Sunday at 9, 2, and 6:30. So once again, the under 21 Papa John's tournament being held here at Curl Moncton in Moncton, New Brunswick.
we thank you very much for joining us.
I'm not sure if we'll move to the other sheets or... We have 2 more games continuing here on ice